What is up, guys? I don't remember the last time I uploaded a video, and I don't remember what it was about. It's probably either about intermittent fasting or cheat meals. So today I want to talk about something that I've been meaning to talk about for a long time, but I didn't think that I had the right to talk about it until like I was a few months in, and that is how I feel about prepping for a show. I'm gonna put like timestamps right, where am I? Okay, I'm gonna put timestamps right here. And whatever section of this topic y'all wanna hear about, just click the link in the description and it'll take you to that. I think it'll take you to that timestamp. If not, then just find it. But I'll have like the timestamps talking about like the subtopics of what it's like prepping for a show. So let me start off by saying that I started this prep, I like unofficially started this prep in December, and like I uploaded a YouTube video, like the little grocery shopping haul thing, like a few months, like in January, I think, around New Year, and that was when I like officially started dieting, but not officially prepping. So I was like in a caloric deficit, but I wasn't really like counting my macros that much, or like I wasn't like doing like a ton of cardio or like doing, I mean, I guess I was like weighing myself every day and I was like kind of staying on top of things, but like it wasn't half as intense as things are now. So between like New Year and my birthday, which is February 4th, it was kind of like a 80% or like 70% effort type of thing. That was when I was working on my own. I didn't have like a coach guiding me through. And I mean, like, I know how to do everything myself. Like I could have guided myself through this prep, but it's just nice having a coach when you're prepping for the sake of like having someone hold you accountable. And also like when it comes to peak week and like deload week, like all these prep terms, I know how to diet. Dieting's the easy part, but like getting like competition ready, getting to that like sub 7% body fat, I don't know how to do that. So like obviously I needed a coach for that, and y'all must know my coach by now. It's Daniel Hong. Hope I'm not butchering that. But yeah, so I started working with him like right after my birthday, the week after my birthday. It's been about 5 months now, or we're getting close. It's been 4 months now, and by the time prep is over, it'll have been 5 months. When Daniel started coaching me, I was 190 pounds. When I started dieting in December, I was around 205 pounds. So I lost 15 pounds like in those 2 months, and in these 4 months, I've lost 30 more pounds. And I believe that I still have 10 more pounds to go if I want like a really solid chance to take home a top 3 medal at summer shredding. Let me make something clear. I'm proud of myself, and I'm proud of how far I've come. Like losing 45 pounds in 6 months? That's no easy feat, obviously. Like that takes a lot of dedication, a lot of consistency. That's like I was 200 pounds, I lost 40. That's a fifth of my body composition that I lost, right? That's a big deal in the grand scheme of things. But right now, like having, the fact that I've like talked about summer shredding for a year, and the fact that I've like kind of walked y'all through my journey from start to finish, I don't feel like it will be, I don't feel like losing that weight is enough for me. I really want to take like a trophy home. I want to win something at summer shredding. I want to gain something out of that competition other than like my self-satisfaction of having lost weight. Like I can lose weight. That I've done that plenty of times before, but I've never been shredded before. I've never competed before, and I've never won a bodybuilding competition before. So I wanted to do all 3 of these things, on my first try. And obviously it's not going to be easy. Everyone there is going to be fit. Everyone there is going to be shredded. The competition is going to be really stiff. Like it's going to be really close, and it's not going to be an easy victory by any means. So with that said, I'm going to try and lose 10 pounds this month, and I'm currently at 161 pounds as of this morning. I'm going to try and get to like 153 minimum, and that, like, losing 10 pounds in a month is not healthy. I'm not ever gonna like advocate that. I'm not ever gonna tell any of my clients like, hey, I'm gonna help you lose 10 pounds in a fucking month, because that's not healthy. Male should be losing like 2 pounds max in a week, and female should be losing about a pound a week max. Like that is the healthy consistency. But what I'm doing, like this show prep, this bodybuilding show, bodybuilding is like, it's not healthy, guys. Like the things that I'm putting my body through that I'm about to explain to you is not healthy, and I wouldn't advise anyone to do it without understanding what they're walking into. Now that that part's out of the way, I will I don't remember, like I went on a fucking tangent there, but let's see, where was I? So I've lost 30 pounds with Daniel. I've got 10 more pounds to lose, and I lost like 15 pounds at the beginning of the year. So I've lost 45 pounds and I want to lose 10 more. Okay. And yeah, my final weight is going to be like in the low 150s, and I'm pushing my body right now like all gas, no brakes, to get to this low 150 range. And that's kind of what I want to talk about, because this month is kind of like the month that defines like what a prep is like. Okay, I'll start by talking about the first few months. So like February and March and like all that, you know, like the initial fat burn stage, like where we're like counting our macros, or starting the weigh-ins and stuff, like, you know. And I had been doing that the first 2 months, but it just got a little extra serious when Daniel started coaching me. All that stuff was kind of fine and dandy, like prep wasn't so bad, you know. It was just like the weekly check-ins. I had to go to the gym. My workout routine became a lot harder compared to what I was doing before. Daniel definitely like added a lot of volume to my workout routine to help me kind of like burn that fat fast, because like, yeah, I was generally fit, like, you know, I was fit generally speaking in February, but not like in terms of bodybuilding. That was like, that physique was just awful. Like, you know, it was a laughable physique, and when I look back at that, I'm like, holy shit, like how did I look like that, you know? And that's what prep does to you. Every couple of weeks you just look back at your body like 2 weeks ago, and you're just like, damn, like I looked like that, you know? And it's kind of just like a wake-up call, like that you were living in that body and you were okay with it. At least like that's how it's affected me at this point. Like, you know, yeah, the first 2 months were like pretty easy. As time picked up, you know, I started getting a little more refeed days. I had a cheat meal, I think 2 weeks into the diet, where my peak weight was 192 pounds. Okay. And after that, after I told Daniel that like I slipped up the second week in, it was kind of like we just kind of talked to each other and we were like, that's it, you know, like that slip up that's all we can afford, because like a lot of people are starting this prep already pretty lean. Like all those people already had six packs, like they already had the little obliques going, the rib cage and all that good stuff, you know. But I didn't have any of that, and I've never had any of that. I've always been like a bigger, more muscular guy, but I've always also had like fat and tummy fat. I've never had a six pack. I've dreamt of having a six pack since like 7th grade. And it's cool that I have one now, you know, I'm happy about it. It's like all fine and dandy, but like to win a trophy at a physique show, you need to have a six pack and more. Like you need to have an 8-pack really. You need to have the obliques showing. You need to have like all these rib cages, like all these little skeletal indents, you know. You have to have all that shit showing. You need to be sub 7% body fat to really have a good chance to win. And that's not healthy at all. That's only sustainable for like a few hours or like a few days at most, you know. And that's what this whole thing is like we're dieting down and we're like torturing our bodies. We're eating like I'm practically my body doesn't know that it's competing. My mind knows I'm competing because I'm operating my mind, but my body is eating 1,500 calories a day right now, and I'm doing 800 calories of Stairmaster every day, so I'm taking in a net like 700 calories max a day. My body thinks it's starving, okay? Let me make that clear first, because that's where everything else kicks in. The soreness constantly kicks in. You're doing Stairmaster every single day for an hour. You know, my legs are just destroyed by now, but like, you know, I'm just dragging myself through because I want to win this thing really fucking bad. The first thing I want to talk about in terms of how prep has impacted me is agitation. I think that I've been more easily like frustrated and just like overall more sensitive to things, like small things that shouldn't bother me, you know, dropping something, or, you know, misplacing something, or like if someone's speaking too loud, or if the music is too loud, or if it's too cold in the room, you know, things like that. Like, just like the smallest things in the world that shouldn't even like frustrate you, just like kind of piss me off right now. And it's because of like the physical workload having a negative impact on my mental state, obviously. I don't know if I said this already, but my net calorie intake right now is around 700, because I eat about 1,500 calories a day right now, and I do about 800 calories of cardio every single day. And like, it's not healthy. No one should do this unless they're like prepping for a show, and even then it's very a rare circumstance. The only reason that I had to do this is because like I've never been shredded before, and I only have 26 days to get to like sub 7% body fat, and I'm getting close, but there's no time to waste, you know? So like, it's all gas, no brakes for the rest of this prep. That's definitely like the biggest thing that prep has done to me. You know, it's affected like my kind of mental well-being in the sense that like I'm a lot more sensitive and more irritated by the smallest things now. And like, I tell all of my friends, and I told my mom, like I told everyone that I have to talk to on a regular basis, like if you hear me acting up or whatever, like, you know, just tell me. Don't be afraid to put me in my place, you know, because it's never their fault. It's always going to be my fault if I act like that, because I'm so like sensitive and I'm so easily irritated right now. Like, my body thinks it's fucking starving, and I mean, in a sense it is, but that has nothing to do with like my mom not being able to hear me, for instance, and me having to repeat myself, or like that has nothing to do with like me dropping something, or like my friends like misplacing something of mine. Like, you know, all that stuff is outside of my diet, and like I always remind myself that, especially like if it's me, you know, if I drop something, or like if I want to like raise my voice at someone, I always remind myself, like, you're in prep mode, you're deep in prep mode, you've been doing this for like half a year almost, and you just gotta keep your mouth shut and just kind of like get through the moment, you know. And if it's one of those days where I'm just being clumsy and shit, I always tell myself like it's one of those days, to just stay composed and like kind of let things simmer down. And it does work. It always works. Okay, so that's probably the biggest thing that prep has done to me, like in terms of negative consequence. I guess while we're talking about negative consequence, I'll just get rid of all of the negative points first, and then I'll talk about the good things. Okay. Point number 2, in terms of negatives, I'm going off the top of my head. I didn't plan any of this out, so like it might be a little random. Point number 2, I get cold very easily now. Like, you know, I have a few friends that are anemic. My mom is anemic. You know, they always get so cold and stuff. And I've always been like a fan of the AC, or like a fan of fans, I guess, you know. Like, I still am. I still love that stuff. But now, like, you see, it's June now, and I'm wearing like a fucking sweater, and like even in the morning I'll like layer up before I get to the gym, and then once I'm like sweating, that's when I start like layering down, I guess. And I'm just like always cold. I'm always bitching about the temperature, like at my apartment or my friends' apartments, and I'm just always like, I always got a hoodie on, I always have like high socks on, or like pants, you know, like when I should just be like chilling like everyone else. And I think that has to do with like me never having been this slim before. Like, I've never had a lack of body fat per se, and it's only gonna get worse for the next month. You know, it's gonna get way worse. Like, I'm gonna just start wearing like extra large jackets and stuff on top of like this sweater, for instance. But that's definitely like a noticeable factor for me. And like at night I'll take a steaming hot shower before I go to bed. But as of right now, like as of the beginning of June, I've kind of upped the workload to like my absolute maximum. I've been just working my ass off, like going on the Stairmaster for like an hour and 20 minutes every single day, layered up, getting my workouts in every day. I'm eating 120 carbs right now, which is like, it's just bizarre. Like, if you guys actually calculated your macros and understood what 120 carbs is, some of you guys eat that in a meal, and like I have to eat that in a single day, and it's rough, you know. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, it fucking sucks, and I can't wait for this to be over. But at the same time, I'm trying to find like pleasure in all of these things. because at the end of the day, like, I signed up for this, you know. I've been wanting to do this for a year, and I'm glad I did it. Like, who I am now, I'm so much better of a person than I was like 6 months ago. Just like all around, like I feel like I'm more knowledgeable about my body. Like, I look better. Like, I'm more social. I'm more, you know, I've always been a confident person, but like I'm extra confident now. Like, I definitely like see my value and whatnot. There's good things. God damn it. I just I just said all the positive points when I said I was going to say that after the negatives, but those are some of the positive points, okay? I'll go into detail about them after this. But anyway, yeah, I'm always cold. It's going to get worse, and yeah, there's a cold point right there. Point number 3, I guess I already talked about this. I'm like always fucking hungry. Like, always. There's no really like point in time where I couldn't eat something, you know? Like, my meals will satisfy me and they'll put enough in my tummy, but like I could still have room for more. And obviously, like, I've gotten pretty good about making my food enjoyable. Like, I've learned how to cook, and you know, I've made things interesting this prep, but at the same time, like, my options are getting smaller and smaller as the prep comes to a close. And you know, all my like Christian, Daniel, like all the guys that I've worked with before, they told me like that this was gonna happen. So it's not like I didn't see this coming, but that is definitely like one of the biggest negatives of prepping. And you know, at least when you're dieting on your own terms, you know, you can decide when you want to stop, or like you can stop for a quick cheat meal, or like eat whatever you want. And even then, like, you can eat healthy things in great portions. But for me, it's like, not only do I have to stick to healthy food, I have to eat a very small amount of it. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword, I guess. I don't know how to explain, but like, yeah, hunger is definitely kicking in pretty hard now. Problem number 4, I would say, is like always not feeling good enough in terms of body weight, like in terms of body fat percentage. Especially like as we get closer and closer to the competition date, I'm always looking out for like other competitors. I'm always like trying to look at like where I was and where I need to be. I'm looking at like the other athlete athletes and like kind of like gauging how far out, like for Christian, for example, like he competes the week before I do at his show. So, and he's already like fucking shredded. But I also have to remind myself, like, that dude's a YouTuber with 1 million followers. Like, he's been doing this for years, and I've been doing this for 1 year, right? So I always try and stay conscious of that and stick to like finding out who my competition is, rather than looking at like the stars of YouTube and stuff. And even then, I'm still like always in a state of like anxiety, like kind of like yeah, I look cool now, like I have a six-pack and stuff. I essentially reached my dream six-pack. Like, I've gotten the body that I've always wanted growing up, right? But now I want more than that. Like, that's not good enough for what we're trying to do right now. And I just always, like, in the morning, if my weigh-ins aren't low, I just do some crazy shit to like try and get that low weigh-in. Like, I'll take my necklace off, I'll take my earrings off, I'll trim my fucking arms or my chest. Like, I'll wait till I have to pee again. I won't take a sip of water if I'm like 0.2 pounds off until I step back on that scale and it's 0.1 pound down from my low weigh-in. Like, it's things like that like, it's just like, if you're a normal person and you see the things that I'm doing to get that low weigh-in, it's like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? And like, it's really bizarre. Like, it's eye-opening for me to talk about, because I'm just kind of like, damn, these are the things I'm doing for this show, to step on stage for like a minute, impress the judges and impress the audience, potentially take a trophy home, some money home. Like, cool, but like, that's what we're doing this for ultimately. And it's kind of ridiculous, but like, at the same time, I'm addicted to it, and like, it's kind of like a passion for me now. Obviously, like, I wouldn't have been putting in the time that I've put up to this point if I didn't have a passion for it. So that is like, it's definitely like some abnormal habits that I've been doing, and like, I always see my progress, I always see the abs coming in, like, I feel good about myself, but I don't feel good enough, and I always feel like I have to step it up like another notch. Like, I feel like no matter how good I look, like, I'll never look good enough to take that trophy home until I step on stage and see like honestly what it's like. So I think after June 29th, I think after my first competition, like a little bit of that feeling will go away. Like I'll have more of an idea of like exactly what it takes, like exactly how I need to look to really like have a competition body. But because I don't really know that yet, because I've never really like stood next to people on stage and like seen what their physiques are like in comparison to mine, and like I've never seen myself shredded before, I think that adds to like the anxiety factor, having, you know, only 26 days left, and like I kind of just have to get my shit together really fast. So like I just want to see change every single day, and I'm doing absolutely like whatever it takes to do that. Like I've cut out snacks, I've cut out rice, I've cut out like any really form of starch. Like most of my carbs come from fruits and veggies. I have to eat a lot of protein. Obviously, like I stick to my veggie patties and my veggie links that y'all have seen in the videos. And like I started taking a lot more supplements the past couple of weeks, because like I just feel like I need to step my game up like with these 26 days left. And it's just been really, I guess like there's such a sense of urgency that I'm starting to resort to like more supplements to try and get this thing going. First of all, let me go on another tangent. This Texas weather, I went to the fucking gym today in the daytime. And if I can open, okay. I went to the gym today in the daytime, left my multivitamin jar in the car. And I don't know if y'all can see this, but this whole jar melted in the Texas sun. That is freaking crazy. All right. So I just bought some more multivitamin. Okay, multivitamin's fine. That's whatever. Like everyone should take multivitamin. That I wholeheartedly advocate that product. And I'm not trying to scare you guys. Like I'm not taking steroids or anything. Let me make that clear. Like it's not like I did any like crazy fucking thing like this prep to where like, you know, to where it changes my fucking body chemistry. But like I'm just saying, like I've kind of started looking to like other directions to try and maximize my efficiency for the rest of this month. And like it's all legal, obviously. Like okay, for instance, like melatonin. Damn, why isn't it focusing? Hey, there you go. Melatonin. I've never taken melatonin before, but I feel like just for the month of June, like I need to get efficient sleep. I need to sleep good, and like it needs to be quality, and I need to feel like I'm recovering every single, you know, sleep session. Because like my body is just wearing and tearing as the fucking days go by now. Like I'm not eating enough to fuel my legs for these Stairmaster sessions, and like I can't eat enough, otherwise I won't lose enough weight to really have good shot at stage. And then the craziest thing I'm doing for the next 4 weeks, or I don't know if I'm gonna take this for the next 4 weeks. I'm just gonna try and like take it for a couple of days, because like I had a bad experience today. Like I was constipated. Laxatives. And like I'm gonna see, because like for the past like week and a half I haven't been able to get like any bowel movement going in the morning, and I've kind of like, I feel like it's affected my weigh-ins, and like I wake up feeling a little bloated, but like my stomach doesn't hurt or anything. I just don't have to go. So like I'm gonna try and take this and see like where I end up tomorrow. And this is what I'm saying, like this is what I feel like is like mentally wrong with me, is like I feel like I have to take this to get something going in the morning so that I can hit a low weigh-in and feel good about it. But like, why can't I just like eat some more fiber, or like why can't I just like get some more veggies in or something, because of the fucking mental factor that taking this will have for me. Like that's what I need for the next 4 weeks. So it's kind of like ridiculous in that respect. Like I feel like I'm resorting to like such bad alternatives to get this low weight. Like I just never want to have to like resort to like trying to take laxatives to hit low weigh-ins, you know? Like that's just ridiculous. But because of the circumstances that I'm in right now, like I think that's like the route I'm gonna go for the next couple of days. Like feel it out. Obviously, like I'm not doing anything so extreme where it's like, oh, like this dude's gonna fucking die. Like no, I'm not taking steroids, I'm not taking like fat burners, I'm not doing any of that shit. But even laxatives is like kind of a stretch, you know? Like I shouldn't have even like done that, but it's just in my head where it's like low weigh-in, and I'm gonna do whatever it takes to fucking do that for the next 4 weeks. And I think number 5, the probably like one of the bigger negatives about prep is jeopardizing friendships. I don't think I've really like lost any friends per se in this prep. I don't think I've really like sacrificed any friendships, or like, you know, all the real ones stuck around. Like, they're still here today. Like, I'll still message them, and you know, but I think at first people weren't really taking like my prep too seriously. They didn't really understand the gravity of what I was doing and like how much it meant to me. And so they would like invite me to like come out for dinner, or like come out to drink or whatever, and I would say no a lot, and they would always be like, you know, like, you're just like so invested in this shit, like you're forgetting, like you're not valuing your friends and stuff. And I don't blame them for thinking that, but at the same time, it's like, I have a goal and I want to get that, I want to see that goal through, you know. I want to get this thing done, and I want to get it done right. And like, I don't have the leeway that other people do. Like, I never had the six-pack. I was never like below 15% body fat. All this stuff had to be done on the spot. So like, I cut out almost all drinking except for like tequila and no chaser. I haven't had a single cheat meal this prep other than that like 2-week mark where me and Daniel were like, all right, like that's it. Like, there's no more after that. And like, I think as time went by, like my friends started to understand, like, okay, this guy's serious. Like, they saw the bodily change, and they saw like the positive impact that the prep had on my body. But at the same time, like in my mind, I'm just like, fuck, like I want to go out with y'all, like I want to eat out with y'all, I want to party with y'all, but I can't right now because like I want to win this shit, you know? And obviously, like after June 29th, I'm gonna do whatever I want with whoever I want, at least for a couple of weeks, and then I'm gonna obviously like get back on my, you know, not as strict of a routine as summer shredding, but like I'm gonna get back on a pretty solid routine. So yeah, I didn't really lose any friends, but I'm just saying that like going into prep, you have to sacrifice a lot of things. Like, you have to sacrifice good tasting food, you have to sacrifice drinking, and like if you can't have a good time sober, then don't go out with your friends, because that's what I did. Because I can't have a good time like at a party setting sober. That's just not me. Like, I'm just not that vibrant of a person when I'm sober, you know. And I just didn't go with them to like their restaurants and stuff because I didn't want to get cravings, because like I couldn't afford to eat those things that they were eating. Like, my roommates come into my apartment every single day and like go to Whataburger, Taco Bell, all that, and like they eat all this like bad shit right in front of my face, and then I have to go in my room, in my like apartment bedroom, because I don't want to see them eat that stuff. And like, to them it's kind of like, oh, like he doesn't want to hang out with us at night, but it's not like that. It's just because like I'm not, it's like a figurative prison of sorts. Like, you're not allowed to eat that food, you're not allowed to like do the things that your friends are able to do, so you don't want to participate in any activities with them unless they're just like sitting there talking. So I think those are like all the negative points of this prep. Now, let me say that this prep has been like life-changing for me in many positive ways as well. Like, obviously, like I look so much better than I did before. My face has gotten way slimmer. Like, I've achieved a body that I can be proud of. You know, I've become more confident, I've become more social, I've become more able to like appreciate other things. I'm definitely expecting to be more appreciative of food, but like I think the negatives outweigh the positives in terms of like mental state and stuff. And the thing is, like, this prep stuff is like, it's addicting. Like, if I lose, if I don't get first place or second place or third place, God forbid, I'm gonna want to go redeem myself, and I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna prep for another show. If I win top 3, if I win third place, I'm gonna do another show to get first or second place. If I get second place, I'm gonna do another show to get first place. If I get first place, I'm gonna do another show to get first place again, to prove to myself that I can stay up there. So like, it's a pretty vicious cycle. And like, don't get me wrong, like prepping is a great experience, you know, if you're prepared for it. But I think that I kind of overestimated myself, and I kind of thought that like I was way ahead of where I actually was. And the fact that I've had to lose 50 pounds in 5 months and like still have like a few percents of body fat to burn to get to my stage weight. I think that's put like a little bit of extra stress on me and a little bit of extra pressure, but overall, like, I've really enjoyed the experience. And like, I know like on Instagram y'all see all like the good stuff and all the happy things. Like, prep is fun, you know, don't get me wrong. Like, I really appreciated these 5 months, but I think like, especially as the prep comes to a close, the mental things that it can do to you for like that month, it's just kind of like, it just makes you like kind of want to stay away from people so that you don't ruin other people's day, you know? Like, I guess that's the easiest way to put it. Like, I don't want to have a negative impact on like any of my friends, or like, I don't want them to have to deal with like my current lifestyle, so I just kind of stay out of their way and I stay in my own lane. And like, I really find like the only place that I can truly like be happy right now is like at the gym, or in my bed, or in my bedroom, or like obviously like in the kitchen when I'm eating. But like, in terms of hanging out with friends and stuff, like, I feel so much less of a motivation to do that right now because of the fact that I can't live life the way that they do. And like, I don't mean to sound dramatic, you know, obviously like, it's not as bad as I'm making it sound. It's just like that's what's going on in my head. Like, I'm telling y'all exactly what's going on in my head, and it's not a good thing. But at the same time, like, there's only a month left, and I honestly feel like if I win, all of this, like all of the fucking negative mental effects, the fucking laxatives that I just bought, like the 700 calories that my body is taking in every day, like, I think all of that stuff will pay off if I just win. But if I don't get top 3, then like, I'm just gonna feel unfulfilled, and I'm gonna keep going until I get top 3 or first place. Like, you know, that's just my mind. Like, that's just what I want, and I'm not gonna settle until I get that. So overall, like, I've really enjoyed this experience, but I want it to finish on the best note that I can possibly finish. And if it doesn't, then I'm gonna do it again, no matter how much it hurts. I guess that's my explanation on how I feel about prep. Obviously, like, I made it sound like it was fucking horrible, and it is. Like, for me, it kind of is right now. But at the same time, I have 26 days, and I'm starting to count the days down. Like, all right, like, when I'm on the Stairmaster, I'm always telling myself, like, all right, 25 more days, you know, 24, 23, and I just keep doing that until I get to that fucking show week, and like, until I'm ready, because I want to look the best I can possibly look. Like, if your head's not in that place, if you're not mentally strong enough to kind of tell yourself, like, I'm gonna put myself through this in the most brutal way possible, if it means that I'm gonna get first place or top 3, if your head's not in that place, then like, I wouldn't compete if I were you. Like, you can easily diet down and like get a good ass body without stepping on stage, or like, you know, wanting to do these types of things. But for what I have in mind, for what I want to see, like, at the end of the tunnel, that's kind of like, that's what's going on in my head. That's what I have to go through. And like, it's voluntary, of course. I can quit whenever I want, but I don't plan on quitting no matter how much it sucks. So to all my friends out there, like, thank you all. I love you all for being there from day one and still being here today. If I have kind of gotten irritated by y'all, or like not hung out with y'all, you know, I'm sorry, but I hope this video kind of explained to y'all like what's going on in my head, and like kind of how it transitioned into my life. And I'm gonna hang out with every single one of you guys, like, once this show is over. I'm gonna eat wherever the fuck y'all want to eat. Gonna, you know, drink to our fucking heart's content, and we're gonna have a good ass time. But for the next 24 days, I'm all gas, no brakes. I'm locked in. Like, it's gonna suck. I'm gonna get moody. I'm gonna be tired all the time, and I'm probably just gonna stay in my room for the next like 24 days for the most part, because I need to get work done and I need to recuperate whenever I can. And I'm really not gonna do any extracurricular activity other than the gym. So yeah, that's my agenda for the next like 3-4 weeks. And on show day, we're gonna hope that it's all gonna pay off. So yeah, that's really all I was gonna talk about today. It was a long talk. There's one more thing I want to say to my like coaching clients, my personal training, like my personalized plan clients and all that. I always get DMs from people saying like they want to look like me and stuff. And that's cool, you know, like it's really flattering to hear that. Like I never thought that I would get that message, like, yo, like I want to look like you know. That's cool. I love that. You know, I used to always say that about like Christian or like Daniel, Shawley, like all those guys. I used to always say that about them. But you got to realize, like, to get that body to look the way that, like, to get that detailed six-pack and like these shreds and all that stuff, like, you can't maintain that all year, first of all. And second of all, everything that I just talked about, like the negative mental effects, the negative physical effects, you're gonna feel all of that crap. Like you're gonna feel that on a daily basis for months to get to where I'm at right now. And like, it's not fun. You know, you can easily get a six-pack and like look good, and like, you know, you can have a good time dieting if you just pace yourself. But if you try and rush into things and like you want that six-pack in like 8 weeks or whatever, you know, that shit, like, you're just gonna hurt yourself mentally. And like, I really wouldn't do that unless I'm competing. So to my clients out there, you know, y'all are gonna get a good body, I promise you that much. But you're not gonna look like Christian Guzman, or like, you're not even gonna look like me, if I'm being honest. Like, you're not gonna get as ripped as I'm about to get, because the work that I'm putting in to get that look is just like work that is unhealthy for the human body, and it's unsustainable. And I guarantee you, like, a couple of weeks after the show's over, my face is gonna look a little bit chubbier, and like, you know, my body's gonna look a little more filled out. Like this slimness of my face right now, god damn, I love how slim my face is now. I'm sorry. But like, you know, like the look that I have right now, it's, maybe this is sustainable because I'm at 161 pounds, but like once I'm in the 150s, like I'm not gonna be able to hold that up for more than like a month. So I just want to make that a point. Like, all this stuff is temporary, and you know, it's, everything that I've done so far has required an insane amount of work, like an inhumane amount of work. I've been at the gym like 2-3 hours every single day, and been eating diligently like the healthiest of foods for 5 months now. And like, a lot of people ask me like how I transform so fast. Do that shit every single day. Like, put your body to the fucking test, and you will get your results if you like see it through. But I've been talking all year about this prep, and I've been talking all year about like wanting to get shredded, wanting to step on stage next to these like guys who do this for a living, and like wanting to be able to compete with them and beat them. So that's what I had to put my body through. That's still what I'm putting my body through, and it only gets harder and harder. But we got 25 more days. We're gonna make it happen, and all this shit's gonna pay off. With that said, I'm gonna end this video. I know I was supposed to post it today. Today's Monday. It's 12:30. Well, it's Tuesday now. It's 12:30 a.m. I'm about to go edit this, post it while I'm in class tomorrow for my first session of summer school. And yeah, please like, comment, subscribe. Go ahead and bag on me and tell me that everything I'm doing is not healthy for my body. I already fucking know, alright? Like, I already know that prep is more bad for you than it is good, but that's what happens when you fucking enter a sport like this, is like, you make calculated risks, and they're only temporary, so it only sucks for a little bit, but you make sacrifices and you see it through. Because if you don't see it through, then your whole sacrifice was for nothing, in my opinion. And a lot of people will tell you, like, you know, that it's a battle against yourself, and they're right. It is a battle against yourself. You're trying to beat your former self. You're trying to look better than you used to look. That's very true. I agree with that. And no matter what the result is on stage, you know, God forbid I don't get top 3. Like, I'm sure I will, because I'm very confident in myself. But if that were to somehow happen, you know, like, at least I'll be able to say at the end of this that I did everything that I possibly could using my fucking body, you know? I did every single thing that I could have possibly done to win this competition. And if that's not enough, then that's just simply not enough, and I'll have to do another show. But we're gonna see what the results are when show day comes. And you know, I am confident. I do think that I have a very good chance at being a top 3 competitor in my class. And you know, I'm gonna make sure that for the next 25 days I'm pushing my body to the extreme and do whatever it takes to get to that 5-6% body fat level. So yeah, with that said, please like, subscribe, Show some love on my Instagram page, all that good stuff. Tell me if y'all want videos on other topics. I will be resuming vlogging soon. Probably like the rest of this month I'm going to be vlogging on a regular basis now that summer shredding is like getting as serious as it could possibly get. So I will see y'all, let's say Friday. I'm going to drop a video in 3 days, alright? I will see y'all on Friday.